When you step into my channel, I want to greet you and say welcome to my channel. Here, we will take you back to the past and relive those classic arcade games, letting you immerse yourself in the vintage gaming style and joyful gaming experience. These games were once popular and were our favorite games during childhood. These games not only brought us endless happiness, but also cultivated our patience and perseverance. In the past years, we have spent countless small coins to play games with our friends and challenge the limits of the arcade machines. These classic games were once our spiritual sustenance, allowing us to escape from the worries of reality and immerse ourselves in the world of games. We have shed tears in the game and also cheered for joy because of the game. Now, we can go back to these classic games and relive those beautiful moments together, experiencing that pure happiness once again. Number 1. Contra is a classic side-scrolling shoot-'em-up game released in 1987. In the game, players take on the role of a soldier fighting against an alien invasion, collecting various weapons, power-ups, and lives to enhance their abilities. Contra's soundtrack is well known and beloved, and has become a nostalgic classic for many who grew up playing this game in the 80s and 90s. Players can also invite a friend to play in two-player mode, creating an even more thrilling and challenging experience. Number 2. Galaga is a classic space shooter game released in 1981. Players control a space fighter that must fight off waves of enemy ships and bosses. The game's sound effects and visuals were impressive at the time, and players must dodge enemy attacks while trying to eliminate as many enemies as possible to get a high score. Galaga features many different types of enemies and attack patterns, making it a beloved game for fans of classic arcade games. Number 3. King of Fighters 97 is a classic fighting game released in 1997. The game has a large selection of characters with unique skills and abilities, providing a challenge for players to master the controls and strategies of each character. The game's visuals and music are also top-notch, and players can choose to play solo or with a friend in two-player mode. King of Fighters 97 has various modes and challenges to keep players entertained and engaged. Number 4. OutRun is a classic racing game released in 1986. Players drive a sports car on different terrains and routes, trying to reach the finish line within a set time limit. The game's music and scenery are full of 80s nostalgia, and players earn points and bonuses by completing different levels. OutRun's difficulty is also noteworthy, creating a challenging but rewarding experience for players. Number 5. Pac-Man is a classic maze game released in 1980. Players control a yellow, circular character and must eat all of the dots in the maze while avoiding enemy ghosts. The game's simple but addictive gameplay, along with its iconic music and visuals, made Pac-Man an instant classic that has stood the test of time. Players can earn extra points by eating fruits and power pellets, and the game's difficulty increases as they progress through the levels. Number 6. Raiden 2 is a classic vertical scrolling shoot-'em-up game released in 1993. Players control a fighter jet and must navigate through various stages while shooting down enemy planes and tanks. The game features a variety of power-ups and upgrades that enhance the player's firepower and abilities, making it an intense and challenging game for arcade enthusiasts. Raiden 2's graphics and sound effects were impressive for its time and have contributed to the game's continued popularity. Number 7. R-Type is a classic side-scrolling shoot-'em-up game released in 1987. Players control a spacecraft that must battle its way through waves of alien enemies and bosses. The game features a variety of power-ups and weapons that the player can collect to enhance their abilities. R-Type is known for its challenging gameplay and memorable enemies, and has become a classic game in the genre of side-scrolling shooters. Number 8, Space Invaders is a classic arcade game released in 1978. Players control a laser cannon and must shoot down rows of descending aliens before they reach the bottom of the screen. The game's simple yet addictive gameplay, along with its iconic sound effects and graphics, helped to popularize arcade gaming and laid the foundation for future video game developments. Space Invaders has become a cultural icon and has been referenced in various forms of media over the years. Number 9, Street Fighter II is a classic fighting game released in 1991. The game features a large cast of characters, each with unique abilities and fighting styles. Players compete in one-on-one battles against the game's computer-controlled opponents or against other players in local multiplayer mode. The game's smooth animation, memorable music, and intense gameplay have made it one of the most popular fighting games of all time. Number 10, Tetris is a classic puzzle game released in 1984. The game features various shapes or tetrominos that fall from the top of the screen, which the player must rotate and arrange to fit into the available space at the bottom of the screen. The game's simple yet addictive gameplay, along with its memorable music and graphics, have made it one of the most recognizable and beloved video games of all time. Tetris has been released on numerous platforms and has become a cultural phenomenon that has influenced many other games in the puzzle genre. Thank you for watching my channel, and I hope you enjoyed learning about these 10 classic arcade games. Although these games have been around for many years, they still have a large following of loyal fans and have had a significant impact on the modern gaming industry. If you have any memories or thoughts about these games, please feel free to share them in the comments section. Until next time, goodbye.